Hello, you wonderful people out there. We hope that you are having an amazing day, evening, night, wherever you are and whatever time that you're watching. Today, we are back with one of your favorite topics. You love these ones.
Oh, yeah.
New Instagram features that you need to know about because there are so many and they happen so consistently. So let's jump right in.
First up, four-way collab posts. So of course you know about the regular collaboration post where one account can post the exact same post on the feed of another account collaboratively. It's a very cool feature. It helps ramp up the reach and engagement on one particular post, and it saves redundant double posting, which maybe some of the same people will follow both accounts and probably won't like both of them. But they just took it to a whole nother level. So now you can have up to 4 accounts posting the exact same post on their respective feeds, the same engagement, the same likes, the same reach, all of that. Now this essentially quadruples
I love this one.
the original. I think it's the dopest.
This is incredible. I think it's so smart, and it's like taking what they did with the 4-way live, so the live rooms, and really bringing it into collabs. And it's like the more people you can reach, especially organically, the better. And for our clients, they have been a really effective, powerful strategy for us, especially when we're collaborating with other creators or like other brands that are like really notable, because in the end, you should be collaborating with someone who's in the same niche as you and likely has the same audience with you. And then when you do that, boom, you're in front of their audience. It's so much more powerful than like a share to a story. So really happy they brought this one in. I think that's an awesome update.
The next new Instagram update feature that you need to know about is kind of not even just for Instagram. It is Threads, a whole new app. Now, if you have been living under some sort of a rock for the last month or two, then I understand if you don't know about it. But if you want to learn more specifically about Threads, hit that video right there. We did a whole video just talking about it. But they have had some updates in the meantime. And really quickly, for those who don't know what Threads is, it's Instagram's essentially their take on Twitter. Really, I know they probably don't like hearing that.
You know what? I always thought that, but then because Mark Zuckerberg tweeted at Elon and did the Spider-Man tweet, I feel like it's fair game to say that it's admitted.
I wanted to be respectful and comfortable about it, but that's essentially what it is. Now, they released it at a time where it was quite, I would say, rudimentary as far as the features of Threads, but they did a bunch of updates very recently, so I'm just going to break down what they are. So they actually added a For You and Your Following feed, which coincidentally is exactly like Twitter.
Yep.
So previously, the algorithm was a little odd. We said in the original video, it wasn't the most welcoming. It sort of had a little bit of, they attempted to make it welcoming. I personally didn't love it because it didn't show me most of the content from people that I was following. It was a lot of suggested ones or just random brands or meme accounts. But now they've added the actual For You and the Your Following feed. So you can specifically go and see just posts from people you're following, and then maybe take you back to the feed that they currently have now with maybe some more suggestions and things like that. They've also added automatic translations. So similar to Instagram, where you actually tap C translation to translate a post. This one has a little icon in the bottom right corner. So you can tap that, it'll translate the post. Pretty handy. They've made the activity feed a little more in depth. So that now will include follows, quotes, and reposts so that you can sort of see a little bit more information about what's been going on. You can now look through a little deeper and see a little bit more about what's happening. They've also added a follow button in your followers list. Now, this is something I've used a lot. So it'll show you who's following you. And just with one click, you can follow them back immediately if you're not already following them, which I quite like because as we said in the original video, I hit the follow all and it didn't work. And now there was a new thing where it was say, here's all the people who are following you that you follow on Instagram that you're not following on Threads, and you could just go follow all. Or you could select. So I redid that after the fact.
Nice.
Still haven't checked if it worked, but I imagine now they did that knowing the bug with the original, which I thought was really cool. And now private accounts can just simply click approve all, and that'll approve all the requests for the follows, which is pretty handy. So let us know, are you guys using Threads yet? Or if you are using it, how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts now it's been a little bit more time? I feel like I'm seeing a mix though, and I know that
I'm already not really on it as much, and actually the usership of it has already declined, but I think that's because a lot of those features that we were talking about that we would want to see don't exist there yet. So that's probably very consistent across a lot of people. Again, it's like adding a new app to your life is not always the easiest thing. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm saying I'm not using it that much. For clients, we are keeping a pulse on theirs, but I am curious
if people are doing. I'm still waiting for that switching between accounts one. That's the one thing that's really stopping me do it, because I'll check the one that's automatically logged in, and then I'll just close it and I won't even bother checking.
Yeah.
So I probably
That's a big hindrance as well. The next new Instagram update that you need to know about are new and improved template browsers for Reels. So what does this look like? Well, Instagram wants you to produce more Reels. So in case you're wondering if Reels are dying, they are not, because I think the fact that they keep creating these enhancements, and you'll see as we continue through the video that there are more and more of these, but the template browser just makes it easier for you to actually create content. So now when you go into your Reels and you hit templates, they've actually organized them by categories. So this is really interesting, I think, because it's like, hey, I can immediately look like, making content can be very cumbersome, right? It can feel like a lot. So they're making it in this way where they're like, hey, we got the cuts for you. We got the audio for you. You need the vibe. Listen, we're giving you everything. Just put those images and videos in and make that real. Like literally that's what they're doing. And like, it looks cool. I like it. Like looking at it, I think it's a really, really smart way to increase adoption, which we know is key for the platform. And I think it does make Reels creation easier. It's something that TikTok has done really, really well at. And I think all these enhancements are getting us closer and closer to like what TikTok really got right when it came to ease of production.
Agreed. And they've been wanting us to use more native tools.
Yes.
And I felt like sometimes the native tools, I think we've said it here before, are a little lacking in times. So there's more improvements that we'll get to shortly, but this is a great one. The templates are so handy when you just like, it's like one tap, you're like, boom, you've already added all your stuff, and then you just tweak.
Yes.
I think it's great, and it's really encouraging more people to be able to create
100%.
simpler.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic.
And I want to add something to that too, which we can consider it like another update that they've done, but I feel like it fits the same category, is that they've also added this use text feature in Reels. So you might notice, which also shows the proof and the importance of using the native tools. Because when people use native tools, it allows Instagram to push the content out more. So like a template, for example, when you're creating templates, that makes it easier for Instagram to put that template in their library so someone else can use it. So you would think it's in their interest to push your content out more. So these are the things that you need to think about. And this use text feature, this is why we also say it's important to add your text natively when you're creating the reel, because one, it helps Instagram really understand what the content piece is about, like what that text is, so they can, the algorithm knows what it's actually serving. It's another key clue, another SEO, another keyword that you're adding in there, and it's all about optimization. So when you actually tap on that use text, it'll pop up in the Reels creator and you're able to create using that exact text. So I actually think this could be super cute for giveaways, or like an enhancement of kind of like that add yours. That could be something that we're going to consider for a client, is like having everybody be like, recreate this reel using the text that's already there, and then going from that, or using a template. So these are things to definitely consider.
The next new feature on Instagram that you need to know about is brand new Reels editing tools. So this is what I was referring to just before. So they've added some things that are, it probably should have been there a while ago, to be fair, but better late than never.
Exactly that.
Very happy to hear this. So the 5 things they added in the editing are splitting. So now you can actually split a longer video, which
I was so happy when I saw that.
Same.
There was something I was doing the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, the split option's there. And I was just like, oh, thank goodness. Because it just makes it so much easier. But yeah.
I think it's because I do it manually in the phone. I'll go in there and I'll cut the part and save as new video. Because every time I learned though, from when we started making Reels, say for one of our other projects, I'd film for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Film for 4 seconds to 8 seconds. There's no need to do it any more than that. I'm like, just what I need, boom, stop.
Yeah.
And that's why I did that. But now with the split feature, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
much. So I think that's really cool. They've also added speed, so you can, double speed, half speed, anything like that, like natively there. Because typically, I think previously you had to do it beforehand.
Exactly.
And you
So now it's in
clip,
post. Yeah.
which is very cool. They've added replace. So say you've made your whole thing and you want to just replace one video out, you can actually tap that video and replace it with another one.
That was a really big one.
Love that. Audio trim. This is huge. I swear we've had so many comments from people being like, oh, why can't I start the audio from 10 seconds into my reel? I'm like, oh, well, it is what it is. You just choose it. It does the whole thing. Now you can actually attach the audio as normal, but it's got the little things.
That's another huge one. You know what's funny? I did see that the other day and I didn't even clue it in because it did remind me of TikTok. So it felt natural, but I didn't realize like, oh wait, you couldn't do that
it was
before.
new.
So it was a new feature. Yeah. It's
whatever.
really turning it into, and this is what Instagram is really great at, is replacing third-party apps. But that's like such a way to take on like a CapCut, which I would love, because CapCut's just owned by TikTok anyway. So it's like, might as well just get everything on your side and put everything into your apps, as opposed to having
makes
people
sense.
use something separate. So
Yep.
unless you're power using Final Cut or something like that.
Definitely, and this makes it much more available to the average person who doesn't have video editing experience
Exactly.
or the software or anything like that. The other thing as well, the final one here is adjust. So this has surprised me, to be honest, that it didn't exist, meaning that if you added a 10-second clip and in the template you've got 4 seconds selected, you couldn't move the video and find the 4 seconds you wanted. But now you can. That's the adjust.
Yes.
I'm excited to try all of these now to see what the experience is. Now that basically Reels has, I would argue, the same features as TikTok.
Yeah,
for the
we
most
should
part.
go in and do like a full comparison and see like who's doing it better.
That could be a fun video.
interesting.
Let us know
that
if you
could
guys
be
are
interesting.
interested in that.
Yeah,
That could be kind of cool. And
Yeah.
just to show the differences. But anyway, there's so much more happening now in the Reels editing side of things that we'd love to hear what you guys are doing with it, what you think of it, what you find good, what you find still.
Does it make you want to
frustrating?
create more reels?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you feeling like, all right, good, this makes it easier to be native? Because we always preach the importance of native, although we use Final Cut a lot. There's a lot of like maybe like higher quality projects that you can't put in Reels. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
We always try to add native things in there. So that's
Yes.
why like the text overlays and things like that. But now that they're making it even easier, do you feel more inclined to use Reels and feel less frustrated? And if you do feel frustrated, what is it about it that's frustrating you? Because I would like to know. We actually do also have a video on how to create the perfect Reel, which we'll link up there and leave in the description box below for you too. The next new Instagram update that you need to know about is that subscriptions have been expanded. Now, if
go.
you don't know what subscriptions are, they're similar to like a YouTube membership or subscribing to Twitch. So anything where you're actually subscribing to a creator to receive exclusive content from them.
A paid subscription.
And a paid
Yes.
subscription. So not like a free subscription with YouTube, but a paid one like a YouTube membership. We're actually
Yes.
thinking about it, complete tangent. It's not really thinking about it. We're likely going to do it. Creating some form of YouTube membership here so that we can have like more interactions back and forth. Because we
Yes.
used to do lives back in the day and we don't do that anymore.
I think that was during the COVID period when things were a little quiet.
Yeah.
And no one was going anywhere.
And now, like, with the way that, like, the comments and questions and stuff are, it's not always so easy to reply to everyone, or we know that there's always, like, secondary or third comments that come from, like, the initial question that gets asked. So we're considering, like, hey, let's just do, like, lives. Maybe we do them twice a month. And it's something where it's like, okay, we're going to sit there, we're going to talk to you, and, like, just answer your questions directly.
And then take the questions beforehand, potentially, for those who can't make the actual live session.
Yeah.
And answer those ones and just sort of give a little more attention to a group of people who really want it for
really
like a
want that.
small amount of money each month or something.
Exactly. So I love subscriptions. I'm signed up. Well, I love memberships. So I'm signed up to YouTube membership. So that's
Yes.
also what made us think about it. And then with the subscriptions, it's the same thing. So you're getting exclusive content, exclusive stories. There's like a broadcast channel in there as well. So what they're doing now is expanding that beyond the US and getting it to the wider market. So I'm very
Yes.
curious what
There's
that...
11 countries currently.
Yeah, I think it's
including UK, Canada,
Yeah.
here, Australia, and a bunch of other countries. I know those are the primary ones who probably watch us, but there's a whole bunch. I think Japan's in there, and there's some European countries too. So
Yeah.
and they're about to go global. I think they're just testing it market to market. Probably
Yeah.
because they also have currency things they have to deal with.
Makes
and
sense.
A bunch of things like in the back end, but it's coming.
Yeah, so really interesting to see how that rolls out and how that plays out. We personally would probably, like, that is something that we could technically even do.
I guess it is the same.
Yeah,
type
because
of
it's
thing.
the same format in a way, but it's just like YouTube is kind of like, well, YouTube's where our largest audience is. It's where our most engaged audience is. It's the platform we focus on, I would say, the most. Although, like, and Instagram is one of our other primary platforms. So again,
Yeah.
when you're breaking down social strategies, you have different platforms and you give them different attention and you do different things on there.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation. And when we get to like full strategy developments videos and content around that, we'll talk about that further. But YouTube would be the place that makes the most sense for us. But I think subscriptions and subscribing to people and creating that type of high touch experience for your audience is super cool and it's very smart. And
Yes.
to me, it's worth it. Like the ones that I pay for, I love it and I'm glad that I have them.
Yes, and then if you guys would be interested in, I don't know, because since you mentioned us doing the Instagram, I never even considered it until you mentioned it right now. If that's interesting to you guys, because I imagine there's different audience. Obviously, this is on YouTube, so the YouTube audience will probably want a membership on YouTube platform.
Yeah.
But if there's some folks who maybe check things out, maybe follow us on Instagram and then came over here, if it's interesting to do something like that on Instagram, because it's almost like you could do the same type of thing just for different audiences on different platforms.
Yeah,
type of thing, and have it go for the same price. They all get the same thing. It's just like they're more some people are more comfortable on Instagram, and some people might be more comfortable on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious what you guys think anyway.
Cool new suite of features. Let us know which ones you're going to be using and the ones that you're the most excited about. Let us know anything that we missed that we got to add to another video or talk about in a reel or something like that.
Please.
Speaking of reels, follow us on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, thank you so much for liking this video. Definitely recommend that you check out this video next. Follow us everywhere, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.